Well, top of the morning to you. You've reached the Tasmania reaction channel. It's my first video. Thought I'd come out here and start with the simple song for a simple channel. Don't have all the gizmos and editing tools and everything. Kind of like this guy didn't. Came out. Ended up being pretty big. Just want to get right into it. But let me explain a little bit about what I'm looking to do. You have a lot of these channels out here where you see these first reactions or reactions, and a lot of them are talking about how they don't never heard the song before, and that's great. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Get to see a lot of people remembering some of the original thoughts that I had when I seen some of the videos. Sometimes people have different thoughts, and to me, they're all interesting. This video is gonna, or this channel is gonna be something with do about 3 songs per overall video. I'll cut the individual songs, so there'll be 4 videos, 3 solos, and then collaborate all of them for people who are interested to see why I picked the 3 and what they have in common. A lot of times you'll be able to find out what's in common. Try to keep videos, each song, down to about 10 minutes. Keep you guys interactive. We'll go through, kind of see what I express about it, and maybe you're going to get some political, a little religious, a little class reaction, maybe a little bit of age, because I have a very broad like and dislike of music. I haven't throw out some songs that I don't like, and I'm sure there's many songs out there I haven't heard of either, so hopefully maybe some in the comments that maybe run along the same line as some of these videos, you can throw in your own interest in there or your own songs and say, hey, listen to this one. This was another song that goes along with your trio. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Hope you get some enjoyment out of it. If you do, comment, subscribe, obviously. See where this can go. And let's start it off.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men know.
So what's up right there? I mean, many of you probably know Oliver Anthony. He jumped up about 3 years ago or so. That's another thing. I'm not gonna try to do too much research on the songs that I pick. I'm just gonna go off of some of my own. They could be wrong, could be right, but sometimes some of them are just interesting things that I've heard. Oliver Anthony kind of broke out. It's Richmond, north of Richmond. I guess I should have said that in the beginning. But let's go through the first verse. It's an interesting song. He writes, definitely has his own way of writing. Man from Virginia, I believe, in the Appalachian area, and so he has like a pre-chorus and a chorus and a verse, things like that. But he starts out with, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I could sit back here and waste my life away, come back home and drown my troubles away. When I read that, I kind of, I work right now. I've had my various experience in lives of careers, and right now I'm working a blue collar. Definitely understand the selling my soul, working all day for overtime hours for bullshit pay. To me, that isn't necessarily talking about the business that's paying my wages. Isn't that, to me, it wasn't that all these owners are slave runners and stuff like that. they're trying to make a profit. They're paying people's medicals. They're paying people's yeah. There's a lot of things that smaller businesses do. Some big. There's a lot of good things they do, a lot of bad things they do. There's a lot of good people out there, a lot of bad people at all levels. But I could definitely see, wasting my life away. Sometimes you feel that way when you're working 16, 18 hours. Right now I'm averaging about, I think, 14 and a half, 15. It takes a lot out of you. It takes time away from family. Luckily, I go in early, try to get home and at least spend the evening with the family. But definitely no drive back home and drown my troubles away. Well, for one, Oliver and Anthony had some substance abuses, but definitely drown my troubles away. Definitely, we know a lot of individuals go out there and have a little bit that liquor. Some of us can handle it, a lot of us can't. So, I've been in the camp on both sides in my life. Right now, I'm trying to work my way out of being in the bad part of it. Goes on to say it's a damn shame what this world's coming to for people like me and people like you. He's definitely talking to the individuals that work in his class. No color here, no religion, no race. Mainly, if I'm not mistaken, he was a miner, worked in the mines. So, nevertheless, he was some type of a blue collar worker. Worked hard. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Meaning what he just sung about. Definitely true. So let's go back and hear it one more time. Let's see if I can go down.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an old soul. There's rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, 'cause the rich men.
So we'll stop right there. So as he continues on, living in the new world with an old soul. Two things you can come out of this, and I got two things out. Well, I mean, obviously this is my point. I got two things out of this. Living in a new world with an old soul. I got living in a situation we're living in where you have new technology, IT, like I said, want these videos not to go too long. So, IT with an old soul, meaning, again, blue collar workers, hard workers, people that get their hands dirty, people that a lot of people seem to forget about, and they don't get good pay. Now it's arguable if they should get better pay, more pay, or higher pay than some of these IT, more schooling, whatever. But I'll tell you what, there's an argument out there for both sides. I think. I think both sides are extremely important. However, when there's a lot of physical, people say, "Oh, anybody can do it." I'd like to see some of these IT guys come down and do some of the work that these guys do and work their butts off for the stuff they work for. The other take on it was living in a new world with an old soul. Is, probably everything you've heard from parents talking to grandparents, parents talking to kids. Oh, back in my day. Yeah, it is a new world. And, you might have to have an old soul who just wants to lay back. In this case, maybe be like a what is that? Hank Jr., country boy, hang out in the woods, do fishing, stuff like that. There's a lot of IT out there, a lot of IT people out there, and just because they are dealing, that maybe they decided to go with the brain side of their, in their situation, still like to go back out in the woods, camp, RV, stuff like that. So it could have been living in a new world with an old soul, just wanting to live your life simple, and I like that. It's a really darn good song. So it goes, then he starts talking about DC. Definitely. These rich men north of Richmond. And let's not get into the sexist stuff, whatever. Rich men north of Richmond. We all understand you got everybody in DC, senators, senators, Congress. Definitely men and women out there. Sometimes the word term just means men. Whatever woman is from the womb. So men, they're all the same to me. So when you're talking on something like that, mankind, yada yada yada. So anyway, got a problem with that? You got say something in the comments. I'm not gonna hurt my feelings. I'm not here to offend. I'm not all knowing. And so these rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Government, definitely, in my mind, government wants to have control, and that's what he's talking about. Want to know what you think, want to know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. The thing is I will say, government's pretty gullible. I'm not going to start talking sides yet, but the way media on either side really think that people don't know. The thing is a lot of people just don't think they can do anything about it. Eventually you get enough people upset and bothered, things happen. Most likely why the United States was started back in the colonial days. Look them up in your history books. Maybe one person can't do something, but one person can definitely start something. And I think that's what he's saying right there. They think right now they can do everything they want without any repercussions. So, and if I say something wrong, sorry, I'm not editing this stuff. I'm just going all the way through. Like I said, we're not here to be fancy, just to be here real as possible. Goes on to say, because your dollar ain't shit and it's taxed to no end because there's rich men north of Richmond. And that's a fact. I mean, come on. Last few administrations, I mean, many ways down the road, just keep printing money, taxing it. I mean, the Boston Tea Party was started over a Beckford's beverage tea. They were taxing, giving their own people tariffs. Again, not trying to get into it. Tariffs aren't necessarily a horrible thing, but it's kind of hard when you start taxing your own people and really giving you no reason. Hence why you had a King George, where people stood up from. So, but yeah, definitely the dollar's lost its value throughout the world. And yeah, it is taxed to no end. Look at the difference from when it was taxed, and do your research. See how many times, and it's not just yours. From when you work, if you work for somebody, if you don't have if you do have your business, you probably know for sure. But when you work for somebody, see how much that's taxed before it even gets down to your check. And then let's see how far it's taxed. Let's see how much money's taken out. See how many people get their money into it. Remember, you're paying taxes on private property, your car, your house. If you own that place that you're renting, somebody's paying property taxes on that. So if you're paying rent, somebody's paying taxes for that property, trust me. And so I guess we'll continue to go on with this.
I wish politicians would look out for miners, and not just miners on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame.
So then he goes back to I mean, we'll finish it, but it goes back to going over the chorus. But let's just get into the second verse, which nowadays a lot of these songs are all 2 verses now. Back in the day, it was usually 3. It's a shame because some of these guys are writing really well, but you know, they want to be able to spread it over multiple songs. It's, lots of art for sure. So which politicians look out for minors? And anywhere you look on the verses, talking about miners who are mining. As I said, I believe he was in the mining industry. I think I've even heard some interviews about where he was saying that for sure. So there's a lot of situations out there where they're not looking for these to add to that, not just miners, but other industries where they try to throw in some OSHA, things like that, and I mean, even the workers sometimes the safety regulations are just like, how in the heck do you expect me to get this job done when you have all this red tape? And some of it's silly. So there's arguments on both sides. Could be a compromise. Then he goes on to say, just miners on an island somewhere. Don't know if we can talk about this, but let's say a lot of people refrain from talking about this. We know we're talking about the island, Epstein, all that good stuff. And we need to get that information out because there's a reason. Once again, a lot of politicians may be involved. We need to get down to it. We need to clean it. Might be a bad thing. You look at the Catholic Church; they had their little situation with, hiding some of the stuff they did. We know what we're talking about. Don't want to get into this situation, but it's got to get cleaned up. We got to do something about it. I don't care. We have to hear. Bad people on both sides are in there. They need an answer for that. And that was a hell of a line to put in there. That hits people pretty hard. This whole second verse is pretty tough. And it just hits. It keeps going. Lord, we got people on the streets ain't got nothing to eat and the obese milking welfare. Really bothered me when more people were all worried about how he was fat shaming people and stuff like that. He's not fat shaming anybody. Get over it. Put it in the comments if you want. He's not fat shaming. He's using language to get his point across. And it's exactly the truth. We got veterans on the streets. We got regular people on the streets. I'm sorry, I just got my heart for veterans and how we treat them after they have allowed us to, with their own lives, allowed us to be able to have the freedoms that we do with risking their lives and signing on the blank check. And I'll tell you what, you do have people in the street and they're starving and they're picking through food, this, that, and the other, and there is money out there that is getting wasted on welfare. And he just says the obese is milking welfare. Throwing a couple of things in there if you don't want to be the people that just all of a sudden hear obese and it's fat shaming. No, he's flat out saying in that line, there's room for welfare. However, if you're obese, that's kind of saying, do you really need all what you're getting? If you're obese, you should be able to give a little to the homeless people that are starving. It's pretty common sense. I got just so many people. And the next line also goes along with that, but it's just an example. He's obviously, and I can understand it. Homeless individuals in the homeless situation is very, very touchy for a lot of people. And I believe he was also homeless. I've been in that same route when I was younger. So yeah, it's a tough one. And it goes well, when you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of French round. Kind of just reinforces and gives you a prime example of somebody who is obese and flat out saying, if you didn't hear it the first time, taxes should not be paying for bags of candy or treats. Welfare is supposed to be something, and I think it's a great idea. It happens in religions a lot. A lot of people will give for food drives and stuff like that and give food to people who are in need. A 5'3" individual who weighs 300 pounds is not in need of food in reality. Okay? I mean, I understand can't starve for, come on, you know what I'm talking about. And then really hits hard. Really hits hard to me too. I got kids, so young men keep putting themselves 6 feet underground because all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Again, does not mention race. Okay, he does. It is about the sex though. He talks about men, and I will tell you. Well, you'll hear other videos about me, and women. A lot of times, women. Oh, you tell your girl they can be anything. You can be whatever you want. You can be this. You can be that. I'm telling you. Look at these young men out here right now. There's a lot of interest. There's a lot of interesting things going on right now with young men and how the world sees them, forgetting about them, putting them down. You get a group of, you have a situation where it's just as a kid getting out of high school, what are you going to do? The prices of everything has gone up so much, this, that, and the other. Yes, girls are going through the same thing, but the same environment. But there's a lot of situations where there's really no support for boys out there. Back in the day at YMCA, you had a lot of Cub Scouts, things like that. Church was great for kids. There's really just not too much support for men out there. These females out here, a lot of people end up telling them they can do whatever they want, whatever they can do. And men, on the other hand, as soon as they're out, they gotta go out. They gotta have a job. They gotta be able to provide. Look at the statistics. There's a lot of young men, and like I said, there's an argument for both sides, and you're looking at all that. However, we're talking about this song right here, and he's talking about the lines right here, and my biggest thing is telling a woman they can be whatever they want, but men, on the other hand, you got to be able to provide. You got to do this. You got to do that. Darn, right now, any negative thing that happens and a woman says it, they're believed before anything else happens. I know there's bad dudes out there and they need to be taken care of, trust me. But it's just really tough for boys out there, for sure. Then pretty much it goes on. We'll listen to the end of the song. Let's see how it goes.
What the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men know for Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. Cause the rich men know the rich men. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
And there you have it. So I really like how he ends it with it's a powerful ending for sure. I do like how he ends it that way. However, gone really long on this first video because I had explained stuff in the beginning. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll end videos right there, and like I said, there'll be 2 more songs to go along with this video, which then will be put back together. All links will be underneath, and I hope you enjoyed it. Any comments, good or bad, throw them down. Like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.